Hello, it's week 16 of season 6 of the Andy Griffith Show. This week's episode title is Otis the Artist. Barney, what's up this week?
Deputy Goran has taken up art as a hobby. He's in the courthouse making a picture of the sailboat by gluing mosaic tiles onto a canvas. He tells Andy it's his safety valve to release pressure. And he tells Andy that Andy should have the safety valve too. And then later, when Goran is alone in the courthouse, Otis comes in drunk and he wants to go into his cell. But Goran has never met Otis, and he tells Otis to go home and sleep it off. And Otis takes a swing at Goran, so Goran puts him in the jail.
And then we see Opie at home at the breakfast table with Andy and Aunt Bee. Opie's got one of those mosaic tile art kits too. And Aunt Bee says, yeah, speaking of art, I always look forward to my Wednesday night art class. For this upcoming Wednesday night's class, they're going to have some guests attending who are prospective members.
And Goran comes in then, and he tells Andy that he needs to talk to him about Otis. And Andy says, yeah, Otis works hard at his job at the furniture factory 5 days a week, but then he drinks on the weekends. That's what Otis likes to do, and there's nothing anyone can do about it. And Goran suggests to Andy that they start Otis on mosaic tile art to change his safety valve from drinking to something more constructive. And Andy says, Dean, I guess. And Warren says, thank you, and leaves.
So Warren goes and wakes Otis up at the jail. Then he gives him a wake-up drink with sassafras roots and a raw egg and molasses and hot sauce. And then he gives Otis a mosaic tile art kit.
And Otis don't want to try it at first. And Warren says, try it, or be blacklisted at this jail and at every jail in the area. So Otis tries it. And then later Andy comes in the courthouse. Warren is gone, and Andy sees Otis enjoying it. And later that day, Goobler tells Andy that he saw Otis buying some more tiles for another picture. And that night, Otis is finished with his first picture, a pastoral scene, and he brings it to Andy's house to give it to him. And Warren is over there at the time, and he takes down the current picture from over the fireplace, and he puts Otis's picture up in its place. And after Otis leaves, Andy is mad at Warren for doing that, but Warren says, Andy, this is important. Otis is at a crossroads.
And Warren invites Otis to be speaker of the art class tomorrow night. And then Goober reluctantly tells Warren that he'll go to the art class too, after Warren keeps asking him to. And meanwhile, Andy takes the picture down from over the fireplace before he and Aunt Bee go to art class.
And then Otis comes back over, and he notices that his picture's been taken down. And Opie reluctantly tells him that his pa put it in the closet. And Otis is real depressed about that, and he leaves and says he's going to go to art class. Meanwhile, at art class, Aunt Bee is speaking, and she's encouraging the visitors to join. And then Warren starts speaking, and he gets flustered because he was going to introduce Otis, who's not there yet. But then Otis does show up.
And he's real drunk. And it's real embarrassing for everyone because he rambles on for a while about every artist having a failure of an art piece once in a while. And he says he must go to his studio.
And a day and a half later, Otis shows up drunk again in the courthouse with a dog and with another picture. And Andy says he's sorry about the other picture, and Otis says no, it was rotten. He shows Andy and Warren the new picture, which is much better. He says, yeah, I found I do my best work when I'm just a little guest. Which disappoints Warren, of course, because he was wanting the art to replace the drinking, not to supplement it.
And later at home, Opie is working on his mosaic in the kitchen and tells his dad that he's almost finished. He's going to finish today. And he offers to have his dad work on it with him. And at first, Andy says no thanks.
But then Andy does take an interest in it, and he starts disagreeing with Opie about his color choice. And then he takes it from Opie, and he starts putting the tiles on himself.
We'll see you next week for episode 17.